Hi, and welcome to another Student Branding TV. I am Kade Dworkin.
And I'm Amber Ray Lamke.
And this is kind of our weekly podcast where we get together and we talk about some of the issues that we think students have in creating brands and creating opportunities for themselves. So, Amber, what are we talking about this week?
This week we're talking about putting yourself out there via the social web. Kate and I, before this episode, we usually, we have our little 15, 20-minute catch-up, and it usually inspires some ideas. This week he was telling me about a phone call he got from Help a Reporter Out inquiry that he had responded to. Do you want to talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, one of the big things that I do pretty regularly is I listen to, or I subscribe to the Help a Reporter Out mailing list, right? And they send you emails 3 times a day with anywhere from 20 to 100 reporters who are looking to get sources for stories. They kind of already know where the story's going, but they need additional content, additional people to provide their perspective. I've responded to a handful of these over the course of the last couple of months. There are some tactics that I use in order to make sure that I'm more likely to get responded to by the reporter. But overall, though, I've had a couple of things come through. A Harvard Business Review article was written about how to handle workplace situations that are negative and how to make them into positive ones, which I was thankful that a previous employer gave me the adequate experience to talk about. And this one on CNN Money, which should hopefully be up today or tomorrow, will end up being about how to live without cable television any longer. And so, for me, it's really easy for me to sit there and have my own experience, talk about my own experiences, which I think I've made abundantly clear over the course of the last few episodes. But it's something that I think that I can give real value, and it's meaningful, right? And that's what these reporters are looking for. So everybody wins. I get a little brand recognition. They get a quote or two from me. So Amber, I know that you've been doing some stuff out on the social web this past week. Let's talk a little bit about that.
All right. Well, I decided this past week to spend a little bit more time actually participating in other people's blogs. I'm really active on Twitter and those sorts of Twitter, Facebook, and all of that. But and I blog and whatnot. But I just decided that I should go out there and comment on posts that actually, mean a lot to me and really put some thought into what they say, maybe add some value. And I just found myself making some meaningful connections. And what I think is really interesting about just going out there commenting, and you can't really predict what the outcome is, but it's always really exciting when you make like a really neat connection or you have a really great conversation. And you never know in life where that might lead or what opportunity that may present to you. So again, it's like putting yourself out there, participate in people's conversations. People love to get comments, make them feel good, and just be, give a honest, heartfelt response. And if it's, something that is important to you and something that you care about, then I think it'll sort of help you create your own opportunity.
Absolutely. Commenting on blogs is one of the biggest things that I've recommended to students time and again, and it's kind of my back door to getting getting top level people's attention, right? If you do it on enough CEO blogs, you do it on enough, thought leader blogs, and you do so regularly and intelligently, it's amazing what happens when you actually send them an email requesting something.
Totally.
It gets right through, and there's no questions asked, and they're more than willing to put up the additional time in order to help you out because you've commented on their blogs. They've gotten to know you and your personality as best they possibly can without actually interacting one-on-one. So, that kind of brings up to the question of, kind of 2 questions, Amber. First, how do you find the blogs that you want to comment on? And secondly, how long are the comments that you're leaving, or is it just a matter of, creating real value in the discussion?
Right. Well, I really love Tumblr because I think it's kind of like Twitter on steroids in my mind. It's shorter posts most often, but it's a lot of images, quotes. It's very design-esque, creative, but there's also, Mashables on there, and Fred Wilson, VC. There's just a lot of unique content and pretty broad base of different topics. And I think what's great about it is that you find, 5 people that you like, 5 Tumblr blogs that you like, and they're likely sharing content from other blogs that they find. So just by naturally, kind of sorting through the content and information, I think you'll find things that speak to you and, find things that are relevant to you. So that's what was number 2?
And the length, like how long do you put in thought process and word count? Or is it just, hey, you got something to say, you're going to say it?
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't focus on length so much. I would just focus on, don't force yourself to comment on something. If it speaks to you and you actually have something, meaningful to say, or you have value to add, or it really, sparked some thought in you, then express that. And if it's, 2 paragraphs, it's 2 paragraphs. If it's 3 sentences, it's 3 sentences. So.
Sure. And then, I mean, is there kind of like, do you try and keep your comments really short as possible, or is that something where it's just you're going to express your point?
Yeah, just express my point. I think it's kind of situational.
Yeah, I mean, I've been known to create comments that are longer than the actual blog posts.
I can imagine that.
And I would actually, take some time and reason things out and ducks all in a row kind of thing. Yeah, you bet I would. And that's why, actually, I typically will, when they get that long, I'll typically send them as an email versus leaving them up in the public domain. Because typically at that point, I'm normally either nitpicking regarding the way things are said or the thought process behind things. And so that's stuff that's better left in a private discussion. Because some people, say things and it's taken out of context, or they don't think about alternative meanings, or they meant it one way. Whatever, I much prefer to sit there and have that on a one-on-one conversation versus putting them on blast in public, which is one of those things where I think that takes some tact and that takes some learning, right? You've got to figure out kind of what is the right way for you to present your opinion. And there can be any number of ways, right? Comments is just a great way. I mean, and like we said, reaching out to people, emails, phone calls, whatever, can be a great way to further those relationships. But putting yourself out there is the first step to getting those contacts, getting that interaction. So, I mean, Amber, anything else to add to this one on putting yourself out there?
No, I think we covered it. Yeah, just put yourself out there and be open to opportunities. You never really know. So there's only one way to find out. But that's it for this week. We would love to hear some content ideas from you. So feel free to reach out to us at studentbrandingtv@gmail.com. And then you can also reach Kade on Twitter at Kade Dworkin. And I'm at Amber_Ray. So have a great week.
Amber, this is one of those weeks where we've both kind of talked about our blogs, but haven't really plugged them. I mean, where can people find your Tumblr blog?
You can find my Tumblr. It's amber-ray.com.
Okay, and my personal blog, which is currently undergoing the 30 in 30, so basically a blog post every day for 30 straight days, is at kadedworkin.com. So those will all appear in the show notes and the bottom thirds here. So, I'm definitely looking forward to, seeing what may come of this now that we're involving the student branding side of this equation, right? This is not something that we've each done recently, right? We've talked about it. I think we both posted in the last week about being involved here on our personal blogs, but never opened our audience up to it. So let's see what happens here. I think this will be interesting. So, send us an email or comment on this, posting on YouTube, or comment on our blogs. I promise we will get back to you. And we've got a list of people already who have experienced that. I know I have gotten a set of emails from folks directly, so I look forward to that. Have a great week, guys, and we'll see you.
Yep, see you next week.
Bye.